Good afternoon and welcome to the Rush. Welcome to the Rush. My name is Randolph Critchlow. I want to thank you very much for joining us here on APNU AFC TV this afternoon. And folks, we have so many things to unpack this afternoon. It is Wednesday, the 23rd of June 2021. Thank you very much for being a part of the program. As usual, we say, let's unpack. Welcome back. Welcome back. We are live on the Rush this afternoon. We want to say thank you very much for joining us. Those persons joining us internationally, in the region, and right here in Guyana. It is Thursday, the 23rd of June 2021, and we are bringing you the credible and valid information, as it were. What's happening in Georgia, what's happening in Guyana, what's happening around the world, folks. We always like to say thank you and welcome. We'd like to give you your shout outs. So hit us up in the comment section. We're live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. For those persons who like to look at us on YouTube, thank you very much. Remember, before you go, subscribe to the page and hit the notification bell so you will know whenever we post a video or we are live. If you're on Facebook, like the page so you get a notification whenever we are on. Randolph Critchlow here to keep your company for the next 45 to 50 minutes, probably go up to 60 minutes or so. Folks, it has been 325 days of this fraudulently installed illegal administration of the PPP, and we continue to see the repercussions of having this fraudulent government, fraudulent administration administer the business of this country and look after the affairs of this country. The little that they're doing, confusion powder sprinkled all over every single day. But folks, let me start the right way before we get into our show proper. We are going to be talking vaccines. We're going to be talking, an MP is going to be dropping by to chat with us also. And we are going to be talking about what is in the news. And at the end of the program at 6:20, we are going to be giving you an opportunity to have your say, as we started that part of our program a few weeks ago, that we give you an opportunity to have your say. When that time comes, we will open up the phone lines and we will give you, our loyal viewers, our loyal listeners and viewers, because some of you just listen, you're at work and you can't necessarily look at your phone, but you're hearing us. We'll give you an opportunity to have your say. Welcome to the persons. New Jersey is in the house. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. The summer gun. Thank you very much for the warm good afternoon. Linden is in the house. Linden, my hometown. Yes, if you didn't know, now you know. Linden, my hometown. Folks, good afternoon to all of you. Share the live stream. Atlanta is in the house. Share the live stream. Now we are live all over the place. Let your friends know that we are about to unpack some credible and valid information here on The Rush. Hopefully, we'll also be joined by Miss Nicole Telford, our political correspondent. And hopefully, we can get her on the line as usual. And we're going to be talking about all that is happening in Guyana. Dayton is in the house. Yes, Otto Martin. I am from Linden. Yes, born and bred, Determined Street, Linden. Went to Mackenzie High School. I left Linden very early, though. I left Linden at the end of Form 1, which is grade 7 for those persons who are dealing with grades. But I came down to Georgetown. My family moved from Linden when I was in my teens, so young. I still have a deep and solid connection with Linden, the place that I was born. UK is in the house. Lagrange, thank you very much. Brooklyn, thank you very much for joining us. Vigilance is in the house. Fireish Village, always tuned in. Thank you very much, those persons up there in Berbice. We were up Barbies a few weeks ago. Very, very nice people. Thank you very much. Okay. Yes, Otto Martin said that Mackenzie High is your school. Yes, all the Lindeners have the fight in them. If you didn't know, Cher Duncan is also from Linden. My friend that calls into the program, Nicole Telford, is from Linden. MP Amanza Walton Desir is from Linden. Turks and Caicos in the house. Thank you very much. Those persons in Strathspey Housing Scheme, in Haslington, Enmore, Grove, even the persons in Iflut, not the ones in the Iflut University, but those good residents of Iflut. Another person from Lagrange, folks, share the live stream as we get up to that number. I'm sharing a few other places too, so that more persons can, Queens is in the house, can be a part of the unpacking this afternoon. As we continue to watch the breaking information. Let's see, I think we're getting some information in here. Right? Wow. Some information on GCOM I'm reading now. Let's probably share that a little later in the GCOM without chief accountant or legal officer. That's some information coming in as we speak. We'll be talking about those issues and more a little later down. All right. But let's go, folks. Let's go. We are ready. Or are we ready? I don't know if you're ready. Some of us are not ready. But we're getting ourselves together on this end to be ready. We'll be joined by MP Dineshwar Jai Prasad in a few minutes at about 6 o'clock for him to give us his take. We're hoping that you're joining us right now, folks. Those persons. Minnesota is in the house. New Jersey is in the house. Essequibo is in the house. New Amsterdam is in the house. Thank you very much, and share the live stream. We're asking you to share the live stream, folks, because we don't want to start unpacking and persons miss the meat of the program. We don't want that. As we talk about the various persons tuned in, let me take this opportunity to wish a very happy birthday to one of our MPs, Ms. Jurita Fernandes, who is celebrating her birthday today. MP Jurita Fernandes celebrating her birthday today. For those persons who don't know Jurita Fernandes, let me share a picture with you. So if you didn't know, now you know. Good. Happy birthday, Jurita Fernandes, MP. Of course, she was the head of the youth arm of the AFC, which is the YFC. She hails from region number 7, Bartica girl, representing, of course, the APNU AFC in Parliament. One of our young, bright economists doing her thing in Parliament. We want to say thank you very much for our graphics people who put this together. Jurita, happy birthday to you. And I know that the viewers have wished you happy birthday also. Albert Tong is in the house. Lake Mainstay, you're seeing us up there. Thank you very much. Internet strong at Lake Mainstay. Antigua is in the house. Good afternoon to all of you. Welcome to the show. Folks, in about 2 minutes or so, we will get going. Let me say that we have a brand new segment this afternoon called Opening Take. And I'll give you my opening take in just a few moments, just to ensure that we share the live streams in all of the locations. And then we'll get right into the opening take. We have some information, some stuff in the news, but that'll come up after the opening take. Let's go, folks. Let's do this now. And remember, as we go, continue to share the live stream. Let's go right into opening take. Right. Good afternoon, folks. Our opening take this afternoon has to do with the vaccine. And I'll get into it. There is obviously a vaccine controversy surrounding the Sputnik V vaccine that was procured by the PPP government. And many persons have wondered why. So I'll get straight into the opening take. Vaccine vacillation part 1. Any responsible person ought to appreciate any government, red or green, being anxious to procure COVID-19 vaccines for citizens. One can imagine that had the coalition been in office, it would have been equally desperate as the PPP to secure vaccines in sufficient numbers to administer to people. Dr. Frank Anthony, Minister of Health, is at least right about one thing. It is common knowledge that vaccine scarcity around the world, it is scarce globally and exceedingly difficult for small states like Guyana to access vaccines. He offered this at least in part, as a reason why his administration opted to purchase billions of dollars of Sputnik V vaccines from Sheikh Dalmouk Al Maktoum. It is entirely understandable that the PPP administration found itself in a difficult situation, as any government would have in attempting to secure vaccines for Guyana. Vaccine and anxiety, vaccine depression, along with vaccine scarcity, however, cannot, I repeat, cannot cause any government to take shortcuts with the health and well-being of their people. No government can willfully put the lives of their people at risk, claiming that they are trying to save lives, put the lives of the people at risk, and claim that they are trying to save those very lives. Such a position is a contradiction. There are two issues which are either being deliberately or unwittingly conflated, and this is resulting in the issue being skewed. Let us separate them, folks. Vaccine prices and vaccine safety. Those are the two issues. One, vaccine prices, and two, vaccine safety. Let us set aside the secondary issue here of vaccine price. That's secondary. As we said, as a country, you would want to secure vaccines at whatever cost for your people in the name of saving lives. And let's focus exclusively on the issue of vaccine safety. The PPP has effectively admitted to the nation that it has knowingly taken shortcuts. One, the PPP government admitted that due to their inability to conclude an agreement with a WHO-approved vaccine manufacturer, they opted to purchase a non-WHO approved Sputnik V vaccine. Two, the PPP government admitted that due to their inability to procure Sputnik V vaccines directly from the manufacturer, that it instead procured them from a middleman, Sheikh Dalmouk Al Maktoum of the United Arab Emirates. We know what we know now because of the Norwegian newspaper Verdensgang, that they have reported about how Sheikh Dalmouk Al Maktoum conducts business and who he unapologetically holds as his dubious and convict associates. This is after a detailed months-long investigation, international investigation by the newspaper. How can any government that purports to care and with any ounce of humanity and smidgen of conscience not appreciate that, knowing what we know now, any Guyanese who has taken the Sputnik V vaccine procured from the Sheikh would be worried sick about what they injected into their bodies? How can any person who has not yet taken the vaccine not be extremely skeptical about being vaccinated with Sputnik V, which is the most widely available vaccine in Guyana? For me, it is not as much an issue as of the authenticity of a Sputnik V vaccine. Let us accept that we can reasonably presume that the Sheikh sold Guyana, or the Guyana government, authentic Sputnik V vaccine. Let us assume that and give them that. The greater concern for me is whether the Sputnik V vaccines were sold by the Sheikh to Guyana, were stored in all material times and transported from wherever they were stored to Guyana under the strict demanding standards of their storage and transportation. COVID vaccine storage has been a key issue from the time vaccines were developed. Most COVID vaccines, including Sputnik V, must be stored at extremely cold temperatures well below 0 degrees. We know that even the slightest shortcut or compromises in storage and temperature or conditions of the vaccine would result in them being spoiled and thus useless. A man such as the Sheikh, who demonstrably does business with convicts and men wanted for fraud, cannot be implicitly trusted. We can't just trust this man on his word to store the vaccine at the exacting standards required. Thus, there must be documentation and other evidence to confirm the safety of this vaccine. It boggles the mind, folks, that in light of this, the PPP would stubbornly refuse to provide information which could have confirmed in a timely manner, not dragged out, in a timely manner, that these vaccines were stored in the stipulated conditions from the time those vaccines left the manufacturer, the Russian Gamaleya National Center for Epidemiology and Microbiology, to the time it arrived at Port Guyana. The continued refusal to provide the information in a timely manner to the public led to further speculation that the PPP does in fact have something to hide. What could that be? The public will also speculate until the PPP provides definitive, and I repeat, definitive, because we know that there was a letter provided, and this letter, of course, caused more questions than answers, because the letter did say that all of the information required or asked for by the leader of the opposition was set along with this batch information. Until such time, it can be reasonably expected that the PPP has something to hide, or they had something to hide. And people who are yet unvaccinated will be hesitant to be vaccinated with Sputnik V, acquired from the shady Sheikh. And that is our opening take this afternoon, folks. That is our opening take. What do you think? What do you think? Keep your questions and your thoughts and your comments for the end of the program, when you will have your say. Folks, that is my opening take, and I thank our friend Imran Khan for helping us put that together, and it really puts everything into a nutshell as to why people are hesitant and skeptical about the Sputnik V vaccine and how it was procured. This is really, really interesting times we're living in, and we're getting a press release from the office of the if I get that for you folks before we invite our guests. Before we invite our guests in, let me read a part of it. Wednesday, June the 23rd, 2020, statement from the office of the leader of the opposition. I think I will share this with you. In a letter to the Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, dated the 19th of June, I sought an explanation as to the purchase of 200,000 doses of Sputnik V vaccines through a third party, Sheikh Dalmouk Al Muktum. This, of course, is related to the same issue I was just talking to you about, at prices significantly higher than that sold by the Russian Vaccine Authority. And he specifically asked for the quantity and batch number, the shipping information, the procurement process. In response to our concerns, Dr. Frank Anthony published a letter dated the 22nd of June that was signed by Alexander Klitschkov, or some, this is fancy last name, man. A copy of which published in today's Tabrook News, page 17. The letter listed the man as the general director of Russian direct investment funds. However, our research has revealed so far that the Russian direct investment fund does not have such a position. And Dr. Kryshchakov's name is not among the senior team members listed. The letter raises more questions than answers and is being investigated by us and our international associates. Folks, this story and this issue with the vaccines continues to drag on because of the PPP's shady actions. That is all it is. Shady actions. And you can go read the entire letter by the leader of the opposition, that release that speaks to that letter. Of course, the Ministry of Health and Dr. Frank Anthony put out a letter with some information. And of course, the person who signed the letter as the Director General of this organization, it was revealed that this organization does not even have a position like that. So this letter is dubious. It, of course, raises more questions than answers. Right? Raises more questions than answers. Folks, it is crazy. Crazy to think that people are not worried given the circumstances. People are asking, why did Mr. Harman take the vaccine? And why anybody took the vaccine? They took the vaccine because they trust that the government of the day were being forthcoming with the information about the vaccine. They were straight up with where they got the vaccine from, who they got the vaccine from, how much they paid for the vaccine. None of those information were on the table before, and you're expecting that the government is caring about the people who they have under their charge, the citizens, and they are not going to put their lives in danger. That is why people took the vaccine. But in the light of this new information, you cannot blame people for being hesitant. You cannot blame people for asking for all the information before they go and inject something into the body. It is utter madness. Utter madness. And now the ministry has released a letter that is supposed to clear up the issue. And that letter is causing more questions than answers, because the person who signed the letter as a particular designation, the investigation revealed that that position doesn't even exist. So no one has to question, where did this letter come from? Where did this letter come from? Is this letter as fraudulent as this administration? Oh my word. Oh my word. Folks, you can't make these stories up. You simply can't make these stories up. You can't. So I'm going to have MP Jai Prashad on the program this afternoon, and we're going to talk about a few issues. He's going to be coming in about 5 minutes. As we wait on MP Jai Prashad, I want to paint a picture for you folks. I want to paint a picture of global collusion. I want to paint a picture for you of people profiteering from the suffering of others. Just like we saw in the VG newspapers, the Norwegian newspapers, that this sheikh has been going to these poor countries and selling these vaccines at inflated prices. The world is such that people are profiting off of this COVID-19 and vaccines, and the COVID has made so many millionaires and billionaires. Don't take my word for it. I want to share with you a report. Hopefully we can get it played today. I want to share with you a report that outlines the amount of persons profiting from vaccines and the monies coming in from COVID-19. Just to think, Guyana gave one man $1.something billion, $1.something billion for COVID vaccines. This, of course, is without consulting Parliament, without anybody knowing why the sheikh was in Guyana. But folks, this is what we see daily. This is what we continue to see this administration doing. I want to play this video for you. And then at the other end of the video, we'll invite MP Dineshwar Jaiprashad to join the show. And he is going to be talking with us about his take. We want his take on what is happening. But before we are going to go and give you this video, let's go back from the beginning. Right. Let's go back for the beginning and share this video with you. Folks, at the other end of this video, we will be coming back with that interview as we continue on the rush this afternoon. Do not go anywhere. So our video is sticking a little bit. Wow. Yeah. All right, folks, it doesn't look like we're going to get to show this video to you. This is the second day trying to show this particular video, but we're not going to be able to. So let me welcome in MP Dineshwar Jaiprashad to our program. MP, good day, sir. How are you? I think your mic, check your microphone.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. How are you?
I am great. Good afternoon and welcome to the Rush. I don't know if you were ever on the Rush, but welcome to the Rush.
Thank you very much. It's an honor and a privilege to be here this afternoon.
Right, thank you. MP, if I'm not incorrect, you have a show on 107 Mark Benchcup's Facebook
every Tuesday
page.
night, yes.
Tell us about the show. Tell us about the show.
Yeah, well, good afternoon again, viewers and listeners. It's always a pleasure to bring information to the public so that we can be able to understand what really is happening in Guyana, and so that we will be able to empower ourselves with the necessary information that come next local and regional and general elections. We will be able to take back this country. I must say that since I started the program on 107.1, I know that it is reaching a lot of viewers, a lot of our comrades, brothers and sisters in Guyana, Caribbean, around the world, diaspora. They are making comments, positive comments, and encouraging us to continue to do what we are doing. So basically, our task is to get the ball rolling, ensure that our people are given the information, because we are the representative in Parliament. We represent our people in Parliament, and we will do everything to ensure the taxpayers' dollar goes to the people. Not what is happening at the moment.
Right. MP, I know that you are from region number 6, if I'm correct.
Yes, sir.
And I want to talk, before we get to vaccines, I want to talk a bit about what has happened in region number 6 with the flooding situation. I know you accompany the leader of the opposition when they were there a few weeks ago. Tell us about the flood relief effort, if there was any, and what played out in region number 6 as Guyana faced countrywide flooding.
As I have indicated, Randy, that what is happening with the flooding is so biased. It is not real, and we want to correct this. But the administration, the regime of the day, is not thinking about looking after everyone. We see that in region number 6, they have selected some communities to move first in terms of distribution. We are saying that if APNU sharing out hampers, you can give who you want to give. If AFC giving out hampers, you can give who you want to give. If PPP giving out hampers, you can give who you want to give. But if the CDC and the government is giving out hampers, you must give to everybody who are affected.
Yeah.
The government is not representing the PPP directly. You're representing the country, the nation. You're representing all Guyanese.
Yes.
So it means then that when you are distributing stuff, do not pass village A, B, and C and go till to the last village.
Yes.
And we have observed that, and some of our colleagues are complaining to us. We have some information as well that they are not, open with this. Come on, brothers and sisters, we know what is happening. The flood is on us. It's a serious situation. Many villages in East Berbice quarantine region number 6 are affected. Some are heavily affected more than others, but we see that the slow manner in which care and assistance is being given is not, up to standard. I must say, for my village, Port Morant, we have never had this village since, I think it's 1996, this flood. The last flood we had, such a massive flood, was in 1996. And what is happening now is out of control. They do not have a plan. They are not doing it the manner in which it should have been done. We have 5, 6, 7 irrigators on one road, pumping water from one location to the other, to the other, to the other. So it seems as if though something is not right. If you have a strategic plan, and if you know how water flows, and if you know the gravity, then you will set up system at one point and drain the entire area. But we know what happens. Remedial work and emergency work will require a lot of cash, and we know who the cash will be going to.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what we see from villages, village to villages we move through, not only region 6, but region 5, region 10, region 3 we visited, and we saw some of the same thing, the discrimination. I interviewed a man from region number 8 who said that Pauline Sukai came in and she gave a few persons some stuff. But, we see this and we've highlighted it. And I want persons to understand that MPs like yourself and other opposition MPs and the leader of the opposition have been sounding this call and calling for the government to act in a fair and a balanced manner when they're dealing with humanity. These are people who are suffering. And that's the sad part about it. That's the sad part about it.
So true. It is very hurtful. It is very, very hurtful that all of us are brothers and sisters in this country, and you will bypass village A because village A supported the coalition, and you will go to village B because village B is a supporter of the PPP, and you will do whatever. This is not a political campaign.
Yes.
This is a situation whereby we are assisting our brothers and sisters who are, heavily hit by this disaster, this flood. And bearing in mind, it is a compounded disaster. Heavy rainfall and negligence. Let us do not run away. There was evidence of negligence. Negligence at the RDC, the NDC, and central government in terms of maintaining the drainage system in this country. If they had done what they ought to do, if they have done the correct thing, then we will not have been in this situation. Yes, we would have been affected, but not like this, not to this magnitude.
MP, there are a number of persons who reach out to us from communities such as Hoxtie and Lancaster, They are saying that in the villages, the dams at the back of the villages, they need to be dredged. Can you shed any light about what work would have been done by the RDC or those persons or the people who are responsible for that sort of dredging? I know you spoke about it, hinted to it just now, but these people are saying that these works are not being done. Go ahead.
Here what happens, I'm Randy. Every village had an outfall or have an outfall whereby that was used to drain the village. What they have done, not now, but since 1992, is to merge villages in terms of the drainage. So they have closed many cokers and activate a diesel or electric pump that is more costly on taxpayer. So basically, what they have done is to alter some of the drainage system whereby less water is being pumped out of the system rather than the coker system. Right? That is one. In all the villages, they have neglected the outfalls and the drainage canals. Wow. They took office in October. And from October to April, I am still waiting on the regional administration for Region 6 to outline to Guyanese that here what happened. From August to April, we have desilted 10 outfalls or 15 outfalls. These are the contractors. This was the cost. And to date, they are not doing it because they know that work were not done in the capacity in which it was supposed to be done. Yeah. That is why the people suffering so much.
Yeah. And so even those remaining outfalls, have they done work on them? The ones that have said, because they've been in office a year, and we've at the end coming close to the end of this 1 year in office, we see these things happening. So are we to say that the works have not been done on these outfalls, the maintenance?
Here what happened in my village, Port Morant. So the outfall is in Babujan. Yeah. And 1 week in the flood, residents were in water for 1 week. And then a pontoon came with an excavator to desilt the outfall. Just imagine what was happening in all the other villages. And this is my village where I live. A lot of residents came out and, said that here what happened. If you do not fix this now, we're going to take to the streets and whatever. So they rushed to Port Morant. They came to Port Morant to try to fix it up, Yeah. And the people understand that they are just doing this to see how they can a quick fix. But we know that all the villages, all the outfalls were not properly done, because if that was done when it was low tide, then the coker could have allowed the water to go out faster than the 4 feet. And the people must understand this. We have a 12 by 12 coker, and you close that coker 12 feet by 12 feet to use a 4 feet pump. A 4 feet pump cannot pump the water per minute, the amount of gallons that we want to get off the land, like the 12 feet by 12 feet coker. And this is basic science, basic mathematics. We must get it right. We must get it right.
And it's so sad, MP, that like you said, a week before the flood came, you saw
a week in the flood. A week in the flood.
So that means that they weren't doing what they're supposed to do to maintain those things, and this is they're putting people's life in jeopardy and livelihood.
And you know what happened, Randy?
Go ahead.
I must say that the villagers, the person living in the NDCs, you must play a vital role. You must get out and ensure that these guys are held responsible for what is happening. But some of the villagers have gone to the mode that what happens, that's it. But I'm appealing to the villagers. When you see things not happening in the right manner, these councillors that you have elected, these chairmen and chairwomen, they must perform their duties. A lot of them are not doing what they're supposed to do. That is why we are in this mess. And let me tell you, when we were in government 2015 to 2019, 2020, most of the NDCs were run by the PPP, and they have sabotaged the coalition administration in terms of getting things fixed. Most
Wow.
of the NDCs, right? And we know that they did not do the work that were supposed to be done. That is why. That
Mhm.
is why we are in this fix.
Yeah.
Because they are not looking at the villages and the needs of the villages. They are taking direct information and orders from the honorable minister. I was told that NDCs now have to purchase $1 million worth of street lights
Yes.
and another
Yeah.
$1 million worth of crush and run.
The crush and run.
The minister can direct that. Suppose village A needs $2 million worth of crush and run or $3 million worth of crush and run. How can you direct to say we must purchase $1 million? And the source of the crush and run is coming from is a questionable source.
Yeah.
Somebody got links there with that source.
Probably some friend or family, because this minister is known for directing business to his family. You remember his son with the printer issue. But
Printery stuff.
yeah, MP, before we change topics this afternoon, let me just come in on an important point. We see what is happening on the markets. We see the issues with the sorry about that. We see the issues with the prices on the market. And we know that Berbice is West Coast Berbice, Region 6. These are all big farming areas. These are areas that contribute to our agro-economy in a significant way. What has happened in terms of support for those farmers, given the fact that, as we said, livelihoods are being destroyed with these floodings?
It is a sad state, Randy. It is a very, very sad state. What is happening in Region 6, Region 5. And we know that we are an agricultural-based region. Farming, which is cash crop, and rice, sugar, and fishing, and basically poultry. So we are more in a producing sector, whereby we produce for local markets in the region and for sale in Georgetown and other regions, and so some products are being exported. So from the time this flood occurred to now, the only thing that they have done is to take a little information. And let me say to all our brothers and sisters in Guyana, you must itemize all that you have lost. Take out a book, take a pen, and write down how many chickens died, how many banks or bed of shallot or kalaloo or bora were destroyed. And these are the information that you must give to them directly, and find out the name of the person who taken the information, so that if when time lapses and nothing is being done, we will have to get to these individuals to find out who they report to. But to date, they have not said to us, to the people in Region 6, that, hey, what happened? We will compensate you 50% or 25%. A lot of persons here punishing at the moment because all that they had damage. All the crops, the vegetable, a lot of poultry, animals, livestock dying out. And they are not saying to the people what will be the support mechanism. We asked in Parliament that each household that was affected should be given $100,000.
Yeah.
From the 10 billion.
I remember that.
Yeah. So we did the calculation, and with the 10 billion, if we take it truthfully, the numbers that were affected, we will have enough money to give to every home that was affected by the flood, and still have to do infrastructure and maintenance work and so forth. But we are still waiting on the government to say what they will do. But we know people suffering. I must say that people are complaining to us that where will the next meal come from?
Yep.
And this is a sad state, Randy. It is a sad state. People do not know what will happen tomorrow for them. They work and eat today, and they try to get a little job somewhere, buy some ration, and try to prepare meals for today and tomorrow. Tomorrow is another war that they got to go out there and rush to find something for
Yeah.
survival.
Yeah.
We know that the COVID grant, the cash grant, did not work out well. A lot of people still having big slip. So
That's a
if
whole
you are,
mess by itself. That's a
that's
whole
the
mess by
story.
itself.
So you were not able to come clean with that COVID cash grant, and we are assuming that you will not come clean here as well, because
Mhm.
a lot of people will be discriminated. Nevertheless, we are appealing to the government. We have advised them to say, here what happened. From the 10 billion, give everybody that were affected 100,000 and
Yes.
negotiate. You will not be in the capacity to give them 100%, compensate them 100%. But if you can flex and help them with a 50% or a 60% compensation,
Yep.
that will be good.
Yeah.
One sister had 700 chicken, meat birds, and
Hmm.
500 died because of the flood. All the money that she had, the family invested it in this, set
This
of
chicken
chicken.
business. Yeah.
Yes, 500 died. And every day she calling. They came around and they took the information, but nothing happening, nobody calling. And that woman is in deep stress. And she is just one. There are thousands of other persons in Guyana like that,
Yeah.
you know. So they
MP,
need to come
as
on board.
yeah, definitely. And as you say that, I'm reminded of something that we saw, and we see as we talk about the prices on the market, MP. I'm reminded of this thing that didn't age well. Reduce cost of living, PPP poster. Reduce cost of living. This didn't age too well. This didn't age too well at all, because we see what is happening on the market, and the cost of living has skyrocketed, and it will be compounded by the fact that the flooding has affected farmers severely, right? So I wonder if the PPP are remembering this thing that they went about, and they stick on the lantern post to get people to vote for them. I wonder if Guyanese remember that they promised to reduce cost of living. How will you reduce cost of living if you don't plan on increasing the worker's salary? If you don't, you pass two
Exactly,
budgets
exactly.
and you didn't give public servants any increase. And then, of course, the skyrocketing prices of things, even before the flood, we saw it happening. So it is a real sad situation that Guyanese are in. A real sad situation, MP.
Indeed, it's a sad situation because here what happened. When we left office, a 5-gallon jar of oil, cooking oil, was
Mm-hmm.
4,500. Today, it's 9,500.
Yeah.
Within a year, it's double the price. That is saying to us that the poor man will always feel the squeeze. Those who afford it, those who afford it, will go to the supermarket and pick up all that they have. But the
Yes.
poor persons, the poor people in this country will
Yeah.
continue to suffer if the government fails to control this price, control import and export, so that we will have a smooth flow in this country. They are not thinking about the poor man. They are not thinking about the small man. They are thinking of
Mm-hmm.
open up the curfew so that people can go and party and get infected and die. That is what they are doing.
Yeah.
Reducing curfew from 6 to 10, 10:30. You know, they are
Yeah.
not thinking about helping poor people to have a better standard of living. Look what
Yeah.
happened to public servants. It has been two budgets, and nothing for public servants. And they
And they're
come with
gonna
all
come next
sorts of
budget and
flimsy
give
excuse.
them some minuscule thing. They're gonna come and dash in public servants at 3-4% or something and say, look, all this 5%. And it's really sad. It's really sad. As you talk about COVID and the opening up, let us switch topics, MP, to the vaccine
Randy,
situation.
I think your volume is a bit low there. I'm not getting you too clear.
Okay, let me see if I can improve that. I'm saying we're about to switch topics now to vaccines, and we know what has been happening with the vaccine. Do you hear me?
Barely. I'm barely hearing you.
Oh boy, let me put my microphone close to me. We let's switch topics of vaccines, and I want to
Yes.
share. Yeah, let's talk about vaccines and the role of the fraudulent Minister of Health, who yesterday sent out a letter hoping to assuage the concerns of Guyanese about the Sputnik V vaccines procured by the government from this middleman. I want to, because I had two MPs on yesterday, I want your take. How do you feel about this? And are you confident that the information that was sent is sufficient to get people to go ahead now and feel confident that these vaccines are safe? Your thoughts?
I must say that all the Sputnik vaccine that came before now
Mm-hmm.
had issues with World Health Organization.
Yeah, it was not approved. Yeah.
That's it. So I was in Parliament when the question was asked to the Honorable Minister if this vaccine coming from Russia was approved by World Health Organization, and his answer was it will be.
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen anything in writing to say that it is clear. I heard today that they are saying some things and so forth, but I have not seen anything to say that it is officially approved by World Health Organization.
Yeah.
So I am saying to us Guyanese, we need to ask this question when they come around. Did we put ourselves at risk? Did we put our family and relatives and associate at risk of taking this vaccine without the approval from WHO? That is one. And two, which is very, very important, COVID should not be a business in Guyana. COVID should be about helping people's lives in Guyana. Remedy, reduction, and preventing COVID should not be a business in Guyana. It should not be a government negotiating with someone who is a middleman to buy this vaccine from the source, keep it, and then sell it to Guyana double price. That should not have been so. We are intelligent enough, we are educated enough to go to the source and purchase this vaccine directly. Why is it that we had to go to the sheik and buy this vaccine?
Yeah.
Is it that he purchased all and hoard it and take the situation now as a monopoly and abuse us as a small country?
Well, it seems so.
Or is it that
given the information
or is
that
it
we
that
got from go ahead.
Is it that he had a deal with Guyana to say, here what happened? I will buy everything and then you will have to buy from me at twice the price. I am saying that a pound of sugar is selling for $100. All Guyanese know that this pound of sugar is for $100. And we can buy this sugar from Trinidad for $100. Why do I have to buy this sugar from Randy, who is buying the sugar from Trinidad and selling it back to me for $250? There is something wrong there. That is bad business. That is not administration. That is spending taxpayer money in the wrong way.
Yeah.
I am saying to Guyanese.
Go ahead.
I am saying to Guyanese that when we go to the supermarket and when we go to the market to purchase items and groceries, we try to cut costs so that we can save. Why is it that the government is not thinking like the common man to say, hey, Rabbit, it is my duty to cut costs and save the taxpayer money? We could have gone to Russia, who is the producer of this Sputnik, and say to the government that here what happens. The Guyana government need 200,000-300,000 of vaccine. What is your price? Okay, 10 US. All right, we will take it from you. And believe me, if we have done that, we would have gotten the vaccine less than $10 from the source, from the producer. But we went to a third person, the retailer in the Mideast, who it is alleged purchased all, kept it there, and had some deal with Guyana. That is why we had to pay 130% on each vaccine.
Yeah. MP, you know what is significant? That we were getting Sinopharm vaccines from China. We were also getting the AstraZeneca Oxford from COVAX,
India.
which through the COVAX setup, and there was opportunity for us to get more of those, especially the Sinopharm from China. But in November, on November 19th, this shake came in, and Guyanese were not aware. Remember, I was wondering why this man is here. What deals are being signed? We did not know that they were doing this, and the question had to be asked: why is it that we were so headstrong about buying these vaccines that were unapproved and overpriced when we were getting vaccines from China? Albeit, let's assume that the Russians were out of the vaccines. These middlemen went and buy it up and price gouge it, send up the price, and they go into Ghana, they went to Pakistan. Let's assume that is what they were doing to profiteer from people suffering. That doesn't mean that we have to buy into their profit scheme.
Exactly.
We could have gotten vaccines that were approved by WHO from other places.
But Randy, this blowing out now is telling Guyanese that there was something behind this deal.
Yeah.
They are saying to Guyanese that we can only purchase a vaccine double the cost because something happened before.
Yeah. So
something happened before. And what Guyanese need to know, that you need to hold these guys accountable. When they are in your area, ask them the question: why is it that we have to purchase this vaccine at twice the price? Ask them the question. They need to be held accountable. Taxpayers, brothers and sisters in this country, you need to get up and stand up for your right and ask these policymakers when things go wrong. Put them to the task so that we will be able to understand the role of the poor people of this nation.
Definitely. MP, do not go anywhere. We have a few more minutes on the program, and this is where we get into our segment called Have Your Say. I'm happy that you're here. So if our audience members have any questions, you can definitely post it to MP Dineshwar Jaiprasad, Member of Parliament on the opposition side. Folks, if you're now joining us, we're talking about vaccines and all things corruption as it relates to the PPP. But let us get into our segment now. Have Your Say. We'll put the number up on the screen on the other side of this.
Rodney, I'm not getting you clear, I think something is wrong with the AM.
Okay. Let me just remove this here. Right. Right. Welcome back, and it's time, of course, for you to have your say here on The Rush. It is time for you to have your say. We have with us MP Dineshwar Jaiprasad, and he will, of course, answer any questions that you have. The numbers on the screen: 618-7321, 618-7321. You can call in to The Rush and have your say this afternoon. Vaccines and other things, PPP. Of course, we are talking about that. We have the MP with us, so we'll give you an opportunity to have your say this afternoon. MP, I hope that you're hearing me a little better now.
Yes.
All right, good.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what is happening. I'm trying to shout over on this end. But thank you very much for being on the show. Let's hope that we get some callers in now, and hopefully you can hear the callers too, because that might be a little difficult. But let's give them an opportunity to call in. 618-7321 as we wait on the callers, MP. I know that we hadn't Parliament for a number of weeks, and I was told a number of months, and I was told by the Chief Whip that some 900 and something questions were laid by the opposition. When can we expect Parliament to reconvene? Before you answer that, let's take this first call. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome to The Rush. Have your say.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hold on, let me just turn up so you can speak up. Go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Everyone here. I wonder if the vaccine good or not good. if the people in the public is taking the same vaccine until now as yet.
So you want to know if the vaccine is good or it's not good.
Right.
All right. Well, we'll answer your question in a bit. Let's take another call.
Okay, good.
Caller, good afternoon. Welcome to the Rush. Have your say.
Hi, what you guys is really doing about this vaccine? The vaccine is not is vaccine. I get to understand is it wasn't approved by WHO.
Yeah.
So you guys take things serious because the government play with people's lives and people's lives in stakes. So you guys need to get up and get this thing all done before things go out of hand. Okay, bye.
Thank you. Thank you for your contribution. Right, MP. Let me bring MP back in. We had two callers there. One asking if the vaccine is good, and the other one saying, "What are we doing about the fact that it's not WHO approved?" The Ministry of Health took the decision, and let me just answer before you come in, MP. Let me answer the first call about whether or not the vaccines are good. There are many clinical reports out there on Sputnik V, and you can go do your own research. Many certified and recognized clinical bodies have said, yes, the Sputnik V is good. There is nothing wrong with it. Our question, the question of the leader of the opposition was for this specific batch that we got from this shady character, right? And of course, he made reference to some fake ones that they found in Mexico. Not necessarily connected to this shake, but there's reporting out there. So the vaccines are good. It is not approved by the WHO as yet, and that is a problem. We have another call. MP, just hold on with us. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome to the Rush. Have you say?
Hi, good afternoon, Randy. See that everybody don't have a Wi-Fi or internet. Why on Fridays or take a day and go to Starbucks Marketplace? Persons are there sitting, and you just pass the message on to the people. If it's every Friday or every Thursday, or choose a day and go there and let the people know, spread the word.
All right. Thank you.
Y'all try and do these things, people try to tell you what to do because we want to get the words out, and we want, get these de facto people out of the government.
All right. Thank you.
Don't just take thank you and don't do it.
I will pass your suggestion on to the MPs and all the persons who normally go.
Yeah, because
here.
not everybody listening to what you are saying on the internet, on the Facebook. Not everybody so forth to the Facebook and these things. So if you go out and carry the message, the people are going to hear and they're going to follow you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, caller. We have one more caller here, and then we'll go back to the MP. Caller, welcome to the Rush. Have you say?
Yes, good afternoon. My concern is I took the first dose of the Sputnik, and in 28 days, I'm supposed to go to 30th to get the second dose.
Mm-hmm.
I concern if I don't get it when I'm supposed to get a second shot on the 30th, do I have to be revaccinated all over again?
Okay. All right, let me answer your question. I'll take you off the line and we'll answer your question. All right. Thank you for your question. MP, welcome back. We still here. We have two issues here. One caller said that she suggested that persons we go out to Stabrook. I know that you normally we have the People's Parliament. Are there plans for more of those visits to those market areas to talk with the people?
Yeah, what happened, Randy? I can't say about the People's Parliament at the moment, but what we have been doing is that we have outreaches in all the regions, in all the communities, and we try to meet our people and spread the word. I must say that our people need to get on the social media, purchase our Village Voice.
Yes.
There is no need for anyone to read anything else but Village Voice. Because we are bringing the facts to us.
Credible and valid.
There is no flowery language, and there is no pin brush words. It is directly from the source, and we are the opposition, and we are holding the government accountable for what they must do. And that is why we need to established that our people need to receive first-hand information. So you can log into all the programs that you can, listen to us, so that you will have the information. As it relates to the first question about the vaccine, all vaccines are good.
Yes.
There are some that varies in terms of the percentage, in terms of accuracy and so and
Efficacy,
effectiveness.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. But what we are saying, when our money is being spent on something, it must be approved by the necessary organization and overseeing organization. That is one. And two, why is it? Why is it that we have to pay such a huge price, double, more than double the price for a vaccine that we could have purchased for $10? 10 US we could have purchased it for, but we have purchased it for 23 US dollars. Right? That is wrong. That is total wrong. Yeah.
We have
I
we
didn't
have
get the second question, Randy.
well,
I didn't get her clear.
the second
But
question had to do with, she said she was vaccinated. She was vaccinated, and if she misses the month date, if she would have to be revaccinated with the first dose. Based on my understanding, I'm not a medical person, but I'm going off of what the Minister of Health said. Right? I'm going off of what the Minister of Health said, that if you miss that that exact month date, it is not necessarily a problem, in that sometimes when the longer you wait to take the second dose, the more effective it is. That is what, and some persons have said that you have up to 12 weeks before you can take your second dose. Again, do not take my word for it. I'm not a medical doctor. Contact your physician, contact a medical doctor. But based on the information that I got from my research, is that you don't have to get it on the exact date of the month, that an exact month after, and nothing is wrong if you take it a little later than the actual month. MP, I'll bring you back in here as we wait on this other call. Caller.
So true. That is so true. So true.
Caller, good afternoon.
The date, there is a flexibility.
Yes, hold on. Sorry, caller. Go ahead, MP.
Yes, sir. So I'm saying that there is a flexibility in terms of the date. You do not have to stick directly to that rigid date. If a few days pass, it's okay. What we need to understand, make a call to the health center or the hospital where you receive your first dose to find out if they have the second dose before you go. What some of our brothers and sisters complaining, they turn up at the health center to be told that there is no vaccine, no second dose. So please let us try to, get that right. Make contacts first before you go there and you are in a big crowd and, talking and so touching happens and you get that information first. So when the health practitioner says, yes, it is available, you go there and get it done.
Roger. Let's take this call. Caller, you're live.
Yes, good afternoon or good evening. Can you look into the matter whereby Guyana Police Force has suspended or canceled the contract from all of their suppliers?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And thank you very much for that. We have to talk about that before we. Let me take one more call.
Thank you.
Caller, good afternoon. You're welcome to the Rush. Have your say.
Hi, good afternoon, Randy.
Good afternoon.
The MP clear up the thing. All the vaccine is good.
Mm-hmm.
He make the opposition look like one mad people, them all mad from one side. So he clear it up. So no hesitation anymore. You could take out the program and go study this more.
Okay, thank you very much. I think you've got the wrong number though, but all right. You needed Freedom House.
Good
afternoon.
My issue. This is one of my questions I need to ask.
Go ahead.
What is you guys doing with the GCOM matter? I have 17 of my family voted for APNU ASP. And I want to know what happened to our vote. And if the GCOM is not an independent body, because I know working under the GCOM is an independent body. Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
It's an independent body, and I think the Constitution speaks for itself.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you very much for your
And I'm really upset about suspending about Lowenfield and Myers and thing, and then says Gunrad get on the TV and lie.
yes.
I don't understand that. We need to take the street. We need to let these people know that we're really upset. We Guyanese upset and strong supporter of the APNUAFC. We are very much upset about what's going on here.
Yeah.
Because I am 17 of my family voted for APNU AFC, came in from overseas and voted.
All right. Thank you very much for your support and thank you for your comments. Let me take one more before we go back to the MP.
Thank you.
Caller, good afternoon. Welcome to the Rush. Have you say? All right, that person wasn't ready. Folks, let's get back to our MP, our guest. MP, I don't know if you heard the comments there. We had a couple of questions in the comments. First, the guy that called, I didn't say that the vaccine wasn't good. I continue to echo the sentiments of the leader of the opposition that we are concerned about the specific batch of vaccine procured from the shady sheikh. Let's get it right. Let's get it right. Vaccines, we've always been saying to persons, take your vaccines. And of course, you persons must be concerned if the vaccines are not WHO approved. We're getting a call from New York now. Let's take this one before we answer. Caller, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I just have a simple question. There seems to be a fracture in the leadership of the APNUAFC. I would like to know when the Congress is going to be called so that the leadership can be changed, so that we can get things going. Mr. Granger needs to either step down and hand over the leadership to somebody that is younger, because it seems as though he cannot handle this situation that we're in. You understand? I would like to know when Congress is going to call and we change leadership.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your call and your concern.
Thank you.
Great. All right. So welcome back, MP. Let's Fox, let's take a break on the calls for now. I know persons want to get in, but let's answer some questions. MP, I know you were writing down some of the comments. Somebody had a concern about the police suspending these persons who they normally procure stuff from and putting their own people. We see this also with Parliament, where there are concerns allegedly that the Parliament is trying to push out windjammers and pull in the people from Palm Court. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it is so sad. It is so sad that we have reached this point whereby we are literally creating jobs for the boys, right? They ridicule and batak and said so many things about AP and UAFC, and now they are holding the government temporarily, and they are doing the same things that they have condemned and criticized. So I am saying that it was just all a big political bluff to fool the people that they will be bringing something new to the forum, but it is the same old PPP. The question with the individual about the leadership, do you mind if I say something about that?
Go ahead, MP. Go ahead.
Yes, I am saying that we need to go to the stats and find out 2006, 2011, 2015, and 2020. All these elections, we have increased votes. And the only way you increase vote if you have leadership with the credentials and the potentials that the people have confidence in. That is one. Number two, we were not beaten at the election. To date, there isn't a clear count as to what really transpired at election day.
What is clear,
the account that was given here,
what is clear is that the count, the final count from the recount included fraudulent, unverified numbers. That is
I
clear.
must say that there have been 49 questionable ballot boxes
Mm-hmm.
with no documents, no information basically, but just votes to count.
Mm-hmm.
And you are saying to us here that this is the decision. We know David Arthur Granger honors the law. He will test the law to the limit. If we have to move from the magistrate court to the high court to the CCJ, all those avenues will be exhausted to show to the people that none of us is above the law. That is number
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
But I'm saying to all of us here, there isn't any major problem with APNU AFC coalition. There isn't any major problem. We have worked together from the formation to now, and we have gathered more votes. And at each election, we have beaten them in 2011, minority government. We have beaten them 2015, and we know that we have beaten them in 2020. But
Yeah.
but that people voted, and overseas people voted,
And
and ballot box without
boxes came
information.
without. Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
all
Yeah.
these things happen. So we know that we were cheated in the process. I'm saying that if it is that we will have to work on a leadership, we will work on the leadership.
Yeah.
If we have to work in terms of making the coalition stronger, we will do that. And assure Guyanese and brothers and sisters in the Caribbean and around the world that the coalition is the only body that will be there for all Guyanese,
Yeah.
not the PPP.
Well said, MP. And I know that you are a politician, and that's a very political answer, a well crafted political answer. But I do not have those handcuffs on my expressions. But I will say, let me deal with it with a little more directly. Aubrey Norton has thrown his hat in the ring. Van Childs has thrown his hat in the ring. There are other persons who I know are willing and able to take up the leadership of the PNCR, so to speak, given that is the largest party in the coalition. And I understand the concerns of persons who may want a different direction, who may want, and that, of course, as was said by the leader of the opposition, will be dealt with whenever Congress comes, because he was asked if he will be running for the leadership of the party. And he was clear that, listen, when that time comes, he will make that decision. But there are obvious concerns of people who want to see things go in a particular manner, and you have to understand their concerns. We are not shying away from the fact that people are concerned, and people may want a different something. So I will say to that, my own little piece of that is that I too am hopeful that we have Congress sooner rather than later, so that the democratic process that is Congress selects a leader that the people want, whoever that turns out to be.
Exactly.
Right. So I
Well said.
understand
Well
the
said.
callers' concern. So let us
That is so
leave
true.
that there.
So
Right,
true.
MP. It was a privilege. It was a real honor having you. It was a pleasure having you here today. I'll give you an opportunity to have say one more thing at the other end of this.
Give me some folk song, let me sing something now.
All right, one more say, MP. There's your opportunity. Go ahead.
So thank you very much again. It was a pleasure to have me, and invite me anytime.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. That was short and sweet. MP. I appreciate the fact that you were here and you really helped us ventilate and unpack some issues. Do enjoy the rest of it. To those persons who called in, thank you very much for your contribution. MP Dineshwar Jaiprasad, opposition a member. MP, thank you very much for being in the Rush this afternoon.
Welcome. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much to the MP, and thank you very much to the folks who contributed to our program today. My name is Randolph Critchlow. I want to say thank you very much. We are about to hand you over to Coretta McDonald for her show. And let me see. I want to see if we can have a little word with her before. I think she's already on. So let's go straight to that. Thank you very much. Join her. There'll be a notification. She will be right on this page. For those persons who will be in the ring later with Sherrod Duncan, thank you very much for your continued support for APNU AFC TV. Join Coretta right now for her program, and we will see you on the other side. Thank you very much. Remember, let's continue to work together for national development. My name is Randolph Critchlow. Do enjoy the rest of your evening and stay tuned to APN UFC TV for upcoming program this evening.